Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4.
The Columbia Workshop under the direction of Irving Reis.
Tonight, the Columbia Workshop presents the 8th program of an experimental series dedicated to you and the magic of radio. We are about to try a new experiment in radio illusion. All of you are familiar with Jonathan Swift's immortal story, Gulliver's Travel. Now, using 4 studios, we are about to dramatize a voyage to Brobdingnag from this great work, an attempt to capture the illusion of Gulliver and the giants. You can help us if you will adjust your radio to slightly greater volume than you usually use and sit farther back from it. Those of you with tone control should turn it to bass. A Voyage to Brobdingnag from the second book of Jonathan Swift's Gulliver's Travel.
In the latter part of the 19th century, Captain Lemuel Gulliver, an intrepid English explorer, set out on his second voyage of discovery. The ship ran into a great storm and was wrecked, and all the crew were drowned. Gulliver himself, by the mercy of Providence, was cast by the sea onto an island, and there for some hours he lay exhausted and unconscious. On awakening, he was surprised to find himself in the midst of what he thought was a dense forest. Huge trees surrounded him, growing so thickly that they shut out all light except that which filtered through from the sky far above the treetops. Suddenly, he hears a great rumbling in the distance.
Oh, I dig as I reap as I sing. Oh, I in a public city.
Stop your reaping, I beg of you. You'll cut me in pieces. Oh, can't you hear me up there? I'm thirsty, sir. Stop. No one wants you. Kill me if you reap another yard.
What's that? I thought I heard something squeaking.
It's me, sir. Down here at the roots of the corn. Don't you hold your head on me. Look down. Look down to the ground.
Yes, squeaking. Let me see. Well, by thunder, a flea. A squeaking flea.
I'm not a flea. I'm a man like yourself. But I'm only 6 feet tall. Do not harm me, please. I'll do anything you ask of me.
What is this? It's bowing down before me. Truly a well-trained flea.
I'm not a flea.
Where's it got to? Oh, there it is. What? Why is it only 2 legs? I've never seen a flea with only 2 legs. And now it's standing upright. Well, by the eternal sea, it's fashioned like a man.
Pick me up. Pick me up. Can't you hear me? Pick me up.
Pick me up. Did I hear it say, pick me up? I must be dreaming. It talks.
I'm suffocating among the stalks down here. Pick me up.
All right, little flea, I'll pick you up. There you are.
Do be careful, sir. Oh, you crushed it between your thumb and forefinger.
Put it to my ear. Perhaps I can understand what it is saying.
Oh, thank you. Sir, thank you. But I'm afraid you're crushing my ribs between your fingers. Put me in the palm of your hand.
Put me on the palm of your hand. Yes, I can understand every word. This is most wondrous. All right, little flea, there you are.
Please be careful not to let me fall. Oh, I'm 60 feet from the ground. I most assuredly break my neck.
Whoa! 60 feet from the ground, listen to it. Why, you're not more than 3 feet from the ground.
Where I come from, our distances are in proportion to our size.
Where you come from? You mean to say that there are more like you?
Yes, indeed. Over the sea there are millions of us. Some even smaller than I.
That is beyond belief. But I will take you and show you to my wife. She'll be much amazed. Oh, why, look what I found. A talking flea. A talking flea.
What do you say you have there, husband? A flea? How long have you been so fond of little fleas that you must bring them into the house?
Come inside. I'll put it on the table. You shall hear it talk.
Talk? A flea talk? What nonsense.
Come in, wife, and shut the door. That's right. Now sit down and look at it closely.
Why, mercy on it. It's shaped like a human being.
That's not all. It talks like one. Little please say something to my wife.
I am your most humble servant, madam.
A perfect mimicry in every respect. You taught it to memorize the words, husband, and repeat them like a parrot.
No, I assure you, it speaks of its own accord, and I think it has a slight danger of intelligence.
Gracious lady, I was shipwrecked and cast up on your hospitable shores. Your husband found me lying in the cornfield. I'm very hungry. Will you not give me something to eat?
Certainly. You shall share our dinner with us. And then you must tell us of your country.
Take it away! Oh, take that huge piece off the table. It will eat me up.
Do not be afraid. It is only our little kitten. He won't harm you. He's very gentle.
Very gentle. Let us have some dinner, wife.
I will bring it in directly. The baby has awakened.
Well, take it up and soothe it.
There now, what's the matter? Oh, you.
She's caught sight of a little flea there.
She wants it. She wants to play with it.
Oh, don't let her have me, please. She'll stop me.
Only for a moment. She won't harm you, and she'll stop crying.
She's put the little flea's head in her mouth. Take it away from her.
Here, darling, give it to Mother. That's right.
How could you do such a thing? Oh, I'm almost suffocated.
Give the child a cracker. Perhaps that will pacify it.
Take your apple, darling. That's a good girl.
Where's our daughter, Brobdingnag? Let her come in for dinner.
She's outside. Will you go to the door, husband, and call her?
Brobdingnag, come in for your dinner.
What is it, Father?
Take the baby from your mother so that she can bring in the dinner.
Yes, Father. Why, Father, what's there on the table? A teeny-weeny doll. Is it for me?
No, Gulliver, it's not a doll. Your father found it in the field. It's alive. We're going to feed it.
Why, he's no bigger than my little fingernail. What are you going to do with him, Mother?
Oh, your father will decide. Here, take the baby. And as soon as you can, you make some kind of a bed for the little flea.
What are you going to do with him, Father? Meow, meow.
No, child. You know what I'm planning to do with it, wife?
What husband?
Show him in the marketplace tomorrow. He'll be the most amazing sight for the farmers around here. And then I'll take him to all the towns and cities in Brobdingnag, to the farthermost reaches of the country. He'll make a fortune for us. Yes. We'll take him all over the country. He'll make us rich.
We've been 10 weeks on our journey, and your father, my
lake.
Where is Brobdingnag?
It is some 10 miles from here. It's the capital city of Brobdingnag, and the name means pride of the universe.
I'm warm in a skeleton and can hardly stand. I'm no sight for a king and queen.
Well, I'll talk to my father about you, but I don't think he'll listen to me.
He's amassed great wealth from showing me. It's not to his interest to let me die.
But he's not as fond of you as I am, Gulliver. But if he attempts to take you out of Longwood without giving you a low rest, I think I'll sleep with the queen for you tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
We must go on, daughter.
But I'm still tired, Father.
You tire too often, London Cliffs. We must be off to show Gulliver to the Queen. Gulliver, Your Majesty.
What a completely winning creature.
Your Majesty, may I have the honor of kissing your foot?
How gallantly he speaks. To whom does he belong, child? To my father, Your Majesty. But I believe you're telling you. But I had no intention. Excellently behave, Your Majesty, and will make it his life no test. What do you say, Gulliver? Would you be content to live at court?
I am my master's slave. But if I were at my own disposal, I should be proud to devote my life to your Majesty's services.
Well, that's a pretty speech. You, sir, I presume that you are the master he speaks of. Would you be willing to sell him for a good price?
Your Majesty can have him for,
Comes out 1,000 gold pieces to the man.
Oh, thank you, Your Majesty, thank you. I hope you will not think it forward of me as ungrateful, but,
But what?
my nurse, Trundleclitch, has always attended to me with such care and kindness. If only it were possible for you to admit her to your services.
Of course. You will live as a talent, child. I'm sure your father will have no objection.
Not Your Majesty, not whatever.
Very well, Trundleclitch. That is your name, is it not? You will look after Gulliver as at home. Oh, Your Majesty, thank you.
Bring in the 3 wise men. Arise, my learned counselors. Have you decided what this little thing is? We must admit that we are still somewhat confused about it. It is certain it could not have been produced according to the regular laws of nature. For what reason? Because, Your Majesty, he is not trained with the capacity for preserving his life, either by swiftness or climbing trees, or digging holes in the earth. Our smallest baby could crush him with its little finger. Yet viewing his teeth through a magnifying glass, we conclude that he is carnivorous. Yet those quadrupeds are more than a match for him, and the tiger is too nimble. We cannot discover what he lives on. We had thought at first of insects and snails, but the snail would easily outcrawl him, and the insects we fed him, he would not hold in his stomach.
They made me nauseous, Your Majesty. I kept telling them that I ate what they ate and nothing else.
We soon abandoned the theory that he was a dwarf, because the Queen's favorite dwarf, the smallest ever known in the kingdom, is in the creature's measurements 30 feet tall. He has reached maturity. That is evident. Yes. His beard is visible under a magnifier, and he talks with all the assurance of an ignorant adult, and he tells as many lies. The only conclusion we can reach is that he is some form of flea, a parasite, and a species that probably lives under some rock in a distant part of the kingdom.
Don't listen to them, Your Majesty. I can easily explain myself to you.
My counselors, your arguments show much wisdom. You may leave us. Your Majesty. they've gone, what do you say, Gulliver, to all their talk?
Your Majesty, there is a country over the sea that abounds in my species. There are many millions of both sexes. The animals, the trees, and the houses, they are all in proportion to our stature. Thus, Your Majesty, I am as able to defend myself and find sustenance there as Your Majesty's subjects are here.
It seems that you have memorized well the tale the farmer instructed you in.
I assure Your Majesty that I speak the truth. And if you summon Gulliver, you will bear me out in everything I say.
It is an improbable tale, Gulliver, but I won't question it for the moment. But now I must take you in to the Queen. She has invited you to have dinner with her. Come, Gulliver, I will take you to dinner.
Save me, Your Majesty!
Are all the people of your country as great cowards as yourself, Gulliver? Those common flies will not harm you.
I am sorry to betray such fearfulness, Your Majesty, but they keep flying above my head. And down on the table here, they're a monstrous and loathsome sight.
I've never heard a simple fly so described.
Well, Your Majesty, it's easy for me to see that sticky substance on their feet that enables them to walk upside down on the ceiling.
What wonderful eyesight you must have. But here, let us see your balancing trick on a grain of salt.
Oh, certainly, Your Majesty.
Bravo! Well done. Well, how did you get into that old tree? Let me lift you out on this stool. You're a sight.
You dwarf, threw me in. When you turned away just now, he jealous of me. And he's always playing tricks on me. The other day, he wakes me in the top of a marrow bone.
Oh, dare you say such tricks on Gulliver. Leave the room. I shall have you whipped. Come to sleep. See that your little jar is clean, and then take him in to see the king. Yes, Your Majesty. Come, Gulliver. We must go in to see the king.
Gulliver, you make frequent mention of war in your part of the world. Truly, you must be a very quarrelsome people.
We do not think ourselves quarrelsome, Your Majesty. We merely protect ourselves against enemies.
Even little things like you have enemies, then. What enemies? Wild beasts?
No, Your Majesty. Ourselves. We fight among ourselves. Even as you keep horsemen to defend your person against self-seeking nobles that would take your power from you.
There is a measure of sense in that. You must lose many horsemen. You are fighting so frequently.
We seldom lose horsemen, Your Majesty. We have a better method of fighting.
A better method? What is it?
You've been very kind to me, Your Majesty, and I am grateful. In return, I can do you a slight favor.
That sounds amusing. What is it?
I can make you absolute master of the lives, liberties, and fortunes of your people.
I assure you, little Gulliver, that I have no wish to be so. But there is so much impudence in your proposal that I am curious to hear it.
300 or 400 years ago, in my country, a man discovered a way of making a certain powder that, touched with even the smallest spark, would fly up in the air with a noise greater than thunder.
That is very interesting. For what purpose do you use it?
Rammed into a hollow metal tube and set off, it will drive a ball of iron with such violence that nothing can withstand its force. With proper equipment, it's possible to batter down the strongest walls, sink ships, and destroy whole ranks of an army at one time.
That is amazing.
Give me leave, Your Majesty, and I will direct your workmen in the making of this powder. With its help, you can destroy the whole metropolis if it should ever dispute your command.
Then listen to me, you creature of spite and bloodshed. I am filled with a bitter wonderment that so groveling an insect could entertain such inhuman ideas, and appear so wholly unmoved in telling of such scenes of desolation and carnage.
I am deeply sorry to have offended your majesty.
You have reason to be. Some evil genius brought the help for me. I would rather lose half my kingdom than be privy to such a terrible secret. And so, as you value your life, never mention the matter to me again.
Are you quite comfortable in your little box, Gulliver?
It's very spacious, Brobdingnag. In my land, it would be about 16 feet square. And I've slung a hammock from the ceiling so that the jolting of the horses won't trouble me.
If you want it turned for any reason, just cry out, and I'll put my little finger through the ring on top and lift it.
Thank you, Brobdingnag. We've been traveling for 2 days. Where are we going?
I heard one of the chief counselors say that we are to visit the fringe of the king's dominion. It is by the seashore.
The seashore. Oh, it's 2 years since I've seen the sea. If I could only sight a ship manned by my own people, perhaps I could escape.
Do you not like our country then, and me, Gulliver?
Indeed, I'm very fond of you, Brobdingnag, and I'll never be able to repay you for your kindness to me. But I want to be again among people with whom I converse on even terms. And I'm tired of walking about your streets in fear that some careless person should trample me to death, as though I were a frog or a beetle.
I dare not aid you in this. The king would put me to death.
Oh, I wouldn't want to bring any trouble on you, Brobdingnag.
We are by the sea now. If you listen, you can hear the surf.
I also hear a great commotion, like the sound of wings.
3 eagles are flying overhead. They look very fierce. Shoo! Go away! Shoo! Shoo! Oh, help! Help! They're trying to take the world!
They're lifting my rope. Help me! Help me!
They're grabbing and Gulliver will be killed! Oh, Gulliver King! Gulliver King! Oh, Gulliver!
Ahoy there! Is there anybody below?
Yes. Let me out of this dungeon. I've been floating on the sea for a month, it seems.
We'll have you out in a moment. I've ordered the carpenter to saw a hole in the roof.
Oh, that's needless. It would take up too much time. Let one of the crew put his little finger into the ring on the top of my box and lift me onto the ship.
His little finger. Your troubles have gone to your head, my friend. It would take 50 men to lift you by that ring.
Where am I?
Alongside the Valiant, and speaking to her captain, Thomas Wilcox.
I am an Englishman. Where are you bound?
Where are we bound? Why, for England.
Thank heavens. Get me out quickly. I have a wondrous tale to tell you.
The Columbia Workshop has just presented Leopold Proser's adaptation of A Voyage to Brobdingnag from Jonathan Swift's Gulliver's Travels. We hope we succeeded in creating for you the illusion of Gulliver and his sojourn in the land of the Brobdingnagians. The Workshop, believing you may be interested in hearing the contrast between these special effects and normal pickups, has prepared a demonstration for you. First, let us show you a normal studio pickup of Ray Collins' voice reading some of his lines as the farmer Brobdingnag. And while he is talking, we will switch to the enlarging studio.
What is this? It's bowing down before me. Truly a well-trained flea. Where has it got to? Oh, there it is! Why, it has only 2 legs. I've never seen a flea with only 2 legs. And now it's standing upright. Well, why the
The enlarging was accomplished acoustically by letting the amplified voice bounce around a large hall before you heard it. It was necessary, however, to reduce Gulliver's voice and make him seem tiny, just as it was necessary to enlarge the giant's voice. So the reverse had to be done. We will let you hear Gulliver read some of his lines on a normal studio pickup, and then switch to the reducing studio.
Please, I'm not a flea. I'm a man like yourself. But I'm only 6 feet tall. Do not harm me, please. I'll do anything you ask of me.
Pick me up! Pick me up! Can't you hear me? Pick me up! I'm suffocating among the stalks down here. Pick me up! Oh, do be careful, sir, or you crush me between your thumb and forefinger.
Thus, controlled reverberation, which is the reflection of sounds from hard or soft surfaces, was used to achieve the illusion of a voyage to Brobdingnag. Such illusions, as you heard this evening, represented a new experiment in the use of acoustics in radio drama. But acoustic illusion is constantly used in dramatic programs. Each one of the studios in the Columbia building is constructed with a live and dead end. The live end consisting of reflecting hardwood panels, and the dead end treated with absorbent panels. Those of you who listened to the workshop's presentation of Cartwheel heard a rapid switch from one scene, which took place indoors in a small room, to a scene in a church during a sermon. Now, this was accomplished by having the microphone for the small room in the dead end of the studio, and the microphone for the church scene in the live end. Let us demonstrate. 2 of our cast will read some lines for you, one close to a microphone in the dead end, and the other about 10 feet away from a microphone in the live end. Listen.
This is the dead end of the studio. I am speaking about 1 foot from the microphone. The scene is supposed to represent the interior of a small room.
This is the live end of the studio. I'm speaking about 10 feet from the microphone. The scene can represent a large auditorium, a church, or any large room.
Having a live end and a dead end, you may wonder why it was necessary to use 4 studios for a voyage to Brobdingnag. Microphones do not discriminate between sounds. If Gulliver had been in the same studio with the Brobdingnags, his voice would have been picked up on their microphone, and consequently would have sounded like a giant's too. It was therefore necessary to have complete isolation for the Brobdingnags in order to enlarge them, and vice versa for Gulliver. This concludes our presentation for this evening. We would appreciate your letters telling us if you like the illusion in A Voyage to Brobdingnag from Gulliver's Travels, and also whether or not you are interested in the technical demonstrations explaining the techniques. Next week, the Columbia Workshop will present a condensed version of Shakespeare's Hamlet, in which we will attempt to effect in sound the perspectives motion pictures achieve with long shots and close-ups. The dramatization has been made by Orson Welles, who has achieved great credit for his recent staging of Macbeth. Mr. Welles will perform and assist in the staging of Hamlet. The Columbia Workshop is directed by Irving Reis. Alfred Spann assisted as technical director. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.